Okay, welcome to Southern Unscripted. I'm your host, Sarah, where we talk a little heart, a little hustle, and a lot of laughs. I am super excited about today. My guest, Jennifer Ligon Gaston. Is an amazing nurse practitioner that I met out here. Welcome.
Thank you.
Um, so we actually met through a networking group. Her best friend is actually in my group, and she's amazing, and she just truly is one of your best salesmen because she just talks so good and she's so knowledgeable of all the things that she was selling me on. And when I came for my first appointment, something about us just hit it off, and we've been besties ever since. Um, but I have a lot I want to cover because you and we go deep diving into all these conversations in our appointments of like just the hormones. And she literally can talk about this all day long, and I love that. So I'm gonna pick your brain today. I really want to just talk about hormones and how women don't even realize like what they're missing whenever it's out of balance. So let's just get straight into it. So first, I want you to explain what exactly hormone therapy is and how do you know if you need it as a woman.
So you're focusing on females, regardless of males or females. Anyone pretty much over the age of 30, I would say, could be a candidate for hormone therapy. Now, there are people that are younger that with different uh, issues or concerns that's going to be completely separate from most people. But anyone over the age of 30 is going to be a candidate. Most patients, it's going to be 35 plus. Um, Coming in with symptoms. Of course, for females, it's usually decreased libido, so decreased sex drive, vaginal dryness, fatigue, brain fog, difficulty sleeping, anxiety, depression, all those kind of things. Those are just some of the symptoms that we see as we age and that we can address with
What's the
questioning.
most common one you see for women, like the most common symptom?
Well, it's hard to say that there's, I mean, every woman comes in complaining of decreased libido. I mean, that's hands down. That's probably the most common thing that you hear.
Really?
But they end up all having all those other symptoms that follow along with it. So everyone can say, "Oh yeah, I'm tired. Yeah, I have brain fog." That's why I tell people not to Google, because if you Google, everybody thinks they're dying of cancer because they have all
That's
the symptoms,
guilty.
right? So you have
It's
all
so
the symptoms.
me.
So I was like, don't Google it. Google's not your friend. Don't self-diagnose. So we all have the symptoms, but I think for women specifically, it's usually about libido uh, or vaginal dryness. It's usually
That's
something
so
sexually.
crazy. Like for me, in my experience, I didn't even know that I was lacking libido. Not that I never really had a drive, but it wasn't like hardcore. I was just interested in when Christy would talk about it and like what it can do for you. I was just intrigued. So I came. I never really had a true symptom. But the truth is, in hindsight, I had a lot of symptoms.
You just
I
didn't
just didn't
know.
know what I didn't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't know that I was lacking this. I think I was lacking libido well before 30.
Well, I think people, or I should say, I think people in general, right? We get so used to living the way we're living, we just think that that's the way we're supposed to be,
Mm-hmm.
and we forget what it felt like when we were at an optimal level, when our bodies were functioning at optimal levels. And women's levels start dropping in their 20s, hormone levels. Men start dropping in their 30s. We're never sexually compatible, so um, yeah, you don't know what you don't know, and until you try to optimize those things, because we're only getting older, so our bodies are not going to be improving, but we want them to function at an optimal level as we age. And so, at some point, if you want to function optimally, if you want to live your best life and not hurt and be able to do all these different things, that's just like one component that's going to help you get there.
I always say you never know how bad you feel until you start feeling good because
Yeah.
feeling bad is like a normal way. Like you just coped with feeling this way and you do it every single day until you make the changes. I look back and I'm like, there was a window that I was so tired, no sex drive. Like I just went through this phase, and looking back, I thought I was just getting older, and it's a part of getting older. But now I feel better older than
Than you
when
do,
I
right?
was
You're
when I
also
was
more
younger.
knowledgeable. You know what to do with your body. So a lot of people, they just think that, oh, it's just like normal aging. And so when I have patients come in, I mean every single patient, it doesn't matter how old you are. male or female, it's like the same conversations. I'm having the same conversations, same symptoms, same how we approach those things maybe differently, but um, coming with the same things. I think people are becoming more knowledgeable about the world we live in and how things are affecting their lives, our food and that we have in the United
That's a
States.
whole nother
That's a whole
topic.
other topic we'll have to talk about
Yes,
again.
yes,
But how you have to take your health in your own hands. Nobody cares but you, you know.
it's true.
And So you have to be your own advocate. You have to do your own research. You have to be able to understand that research because not all research is good. You can find research that can support different things. So you know, I'm on a daily quest as well. So I don't know everything about everything, but I'm constantly challenging myself and learning. My patients challenge me every day. They'll say, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And I've got like
And so then you dive and do the
yes, and
research.
I've got like a whole list of things I'm already looking into for patients, and I'm like, I don't know when I'll get the answers, or I don't know when I'm going to be able to get back to you, but it's on my list, and that's how I literally
And I love
spend
that about
my
you.
weekends is doing research. So, and talking to pharmacists and talking to my colleagues, and like, hey, what do you think about this, or what do you think about this? So, um, uh, and just overall, like, what's scary, I think, about medicine in general is that it's not black and white. And so the more we learn, the more we realize that we don't really know the answers. And so we're stuck on so many things from the past. Um, and and this is like a whole other topic too, like getting things through the FDA, getting things approved, those
Yeah.
kind of things. So many things that we do um, that are actually safer than medications or prescriptions or whatever. So many things that we are looking at are considered um, off label, you know. So when they're off label, as practitioners, we'd be very careful when treating patients because of the liability. Even if they're safer, if anything goes wrong, we have to be so careful. So you have to be able to say, okay, this is why I did it. This is, you know, the research behind backing the safety, and then you have to educate your patients so that they can they, you know, people have to be willing to um, suffer, I guess, the consequences. I hate to say
Right.
that, but
Yeah.
with anything that you put in your body, whether it's the food that you eat or it's a medication you take, there's side effects for everything. It's just risk versus
Yes.
benefits for everything. And so you have to decide: is it going to be worth? Is it more benefit than risk? And how that can improve your life. You know.
Yeah. What are the hormone myths you wish more women would stop believing? And I'm sure you can go in on a tangent about this
That's a whole
because
nother one too. So
because Google doesn't help.
Google is the worst, and I find you know, it's crazy because I'll still see people in their 20s or 30s, um, and they weren't even alive um, when the Women's Health Initiative was done, and they had the same misinformation that older generations have had. So the Women's Health Initiative was done, I believe it was like 2002, 2003, and when initial reports came out, it was misinterpreted, and people um, were told or interpreted, I guess I should say, that hormones caused breast cancer. And that's
Mm,
where you get that stigma. And it was a great study, but also the study only focused on postmenopausal women. And 20 years later, when they completed the study with some final results, it wasn't, I guess, broadcasted like the initial results were to say, oh, well, okay, that wasn't completely accurate, you know? So,
do you think that's why insurance won't cover women's hormones?
no, that doesn't have anything to do with that. I think that's a completely separate um, animal all on its own.
Yeah.
So, insurance will cover estrogen replacement on women.
Mm,
Um, they will not cover testosterone.
testosterone.
Um, Insurance will only cover something that's FDA regulated, okay, FDA approved. Um, it has to have um, you have to have for insurance to cover it. There has to be like a reason worthy enough, and so decreased libido is not enough for them. Um, And
Which is insane because I feel like you say this all the time, we're animals. And I think it's a need for both male and female.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, sex, intimacy, companionship. We're human beings. We
It release
It
endorphins.
releases endorphins and relieves stress, improves mood,
Yes,
um,
yes.
makes you feel better. Makes you feel attractive. It helps with
Confident.
yeah, self confidence, sexy. I mean, all those things make a difference, and um, it, that alone should be enough for females.
Yeah,
The
agreed.
fact that we're never sexually compatible for males and females, that should be enough. The fact that 100 years ago we died in our 40s and now we live upwards to 80 to 100, that should be enough. That if we live long enough, we're going to have to supplement many different things
Right.
to be able to live optimally, at that age.
The longevity.
Absolutely. And quality of life.
So why is insurance not covering testosterone specifically for women?
For that reason.
That
So
reason.
if it's there's not enough, I guess, trials that they approve to show worthiness of it. But there's plenty of research that shows that women need it just as much as men. It's just as important for women. Both men and women both have estrogen and testosterone, which a lot of men don't realize that they do.
Right.
And some parts of testosterone convert over to estrogen in the body naturally. So it helps with, brain fog, fatigue, anxiety, depression. So when people come in, yeah, we can do a pill for a pill for a pill for a pill, but let's see what we can do in the body before we start doing those things.
Right.
Assuming they're not like acute symptoms, like someone's suicidal or those kind of things, where it's like more acute. But our bodies are amazing systems, and if we fuel them right, our body has the tools, to optimize, right? I mean, it's the most amazing system, but we just don't have we're not given all the right tools. And we can get into that. That's a whole other session as well with FDA and all the things we went through in the past 10 years specifically, and how eye-opening. And I think that's why people are more aware of what they can do, um, what they can do to improve their life without taking a pill or a vaccine or something like that.
Right.
I think people are more I hate to use the word woke, but more woke on the reality of I've got to figure out how to improve my health on my own, because I don't know that anybody else is out there that they're genuinely want to help you,
Yeah.
health wise.
It's crazy. I feel like me growing up, health was never a thing. It's like it's a trend. It's like wellness. Everyone's just trying harder, or maybe I just wasn't in an environment where it wasn't.
Well, I think younger generations are much more aware as far as better foods to eat, much better eating habits.
Now,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah, much better. My kids much more aware, much better eating habits, how to take care of your skin. When we were young, we were laying out in the sun, putting baby
Oh,
oil on our
yes.
bodies, and
Yes.
and drinking sodas and eating chips, and it wasn't a big thing. Eating
Uh-uh.
frozen foods, and oh my gosh, what a treat.
And then it
Um,
caught up with the world,
yeah,
and now everybody's trying to rally and
and
get it together.
well, and and like, I'm trying to avoid politics, but I think we're learning that compared to the rest of the world in the United States, we're far behind in nutrition, health. We're the fattest, sickest country in the world.
Yeah.
But we also are like hamsters on a hamster wheel. We're just always running. In the United States,
It's true.
we're constantly going. We don't
That's a
stop and
great
breathe. Yeah, we don't stop and breathe. We don't take time to, like, smell the flowers. Our family
it's
units
so
are
true.
different, and so in other countries, they have 2 hour lunches. They take months off at a time for vacations. Literally parts of the countries shut down for certain months of the year because that's the way their culture is. And obviously that's not something that's going to happen in our country, but we have to find a way to balance this crazy world we live in the States so that we can live healthier lives, you know?
Yeah. Um, what would you say to women who are afraid of trying hormone therapy, and are there more natural or gentle starts in place of that?
So leading back to where I guess the question that we talked about with the myths, I should say, and talking about the Women's Health Initiative. So what we learned with that, right, that the study was on postmenopausal women. Okay, so that isn't that well. It affects me because I am postmenopausal now. So not you yet, but me. But so it actually found that it improved um, or decreased their risks for other complications if they had hormone therapy like estrogen, protecting their bones and preventing other diseases as they aged, um, but not on younger generations with hormone treatment, right? Um, and if you think about when that was done in 2002, that was 23 years ago.
Wow.
I mean, look at technology, how that's changed in 23
Evolved
years.
so much. Yeah.
I mean, there we didn't have Instagram and TikTok and
No.
we didn't have any of those things. So look at how technology has changed. Why aren't we like, let's redo the study, let's improve it, let's do that, you know? So I tell all of my patients, hormones do not cause cancer. They do not cause breast cancer. They do not cause prostate cancer. For females, I tell them if you have an estrogen receptive or a hormone receptive breast cancer, and we give you those hormones, of course it's going to grow. We're feeding it, right? So that's why you have preventative health care. That's why you want to make sure you get mammograms annually. So like I will not touch a patient, treat a patient over the age of 40 without a mammogram because that's preventative care.
I'm
Um,
so due for mine. My doctor even called it in. I still haven't gone yet. I gotta go. I know. You
Sarah,
reminded me.
I
Thank
mean, I
you.
just sent two patients yesterday. I was like, you have to get this done. And I spent another 10 minutes just on that. She wasn't even seeing me for
I
that.
actually done one already. I've started really, really young because my mom had breast cancer. So I just started being preventative
You're at
early.
even a higher risk. Yeah.
I started early, but yeah, I'm probably due.
So everyone in my family's had breast cancer. Um, all, all three of my dad's sisters. Um, my sister-in-law actually passed away from breast cancer at 44. She was diagnosed at 39. Um, and she was started on hormone therapy without a mammogram. By the time we found it, it was stage 4 breast bone brain cancer. So she passed away at 44. But and then on my husband's side, same thing. So genetics run strong, and there are so many things that we like. They don't carry the BRCA gene. One of them couldn't be tested. The one that was surviving, she didn't carry the BRCA gene, and so for her, um, obviously there's genealogy that we don't, or genetics that we don't know yet, right? Because if you have three sisters that have breast cancer, that's not just a coincidence, you know? So with patients, I say due diligence, and this is with anything that we put in our bodies, anything you can do preventative. So mammograms, ultrasound, whatever we need to do. Um, at the rate that people are getting breast cancer in this world, um, I tell my patients you're much higher risk of probably developing breast cancer than you are of the small doses of radiation or exposure that you're going to have. Um, but that's per person. So, but at the minimum, they could get an ultrasound. So there's ways to be safe and there's ways to do prevention. But hormones do not cause breast cancer. But we always want to evaluate first before treating to make sure that if there was something that we're not causing it to grow. And so that didn't answer your second question. So your question was
Are there
for
gentle starts like, because
right.
some people may be scared to do the hormones because of,
Right, of
those
course. And so
studies.
that's education, right? That's why I educate my patients a lot. I usually give them a book so that they
And
can
I was
read.
going to tell you that
Yeah.
there's books that anyone can read.
Yes. I purchase books and give them to my patients. They're easy to read. It's mostly focused on bioidentical, but I tell them it doesn't matter the modality, the rate, the route. We'll go over all that to see which route's best for that patient because every patient is very different on like what is going to work for their lifestyle or their choices. Um, but I tell them just ignore that fact. But um, the point is to see how they help your body, what they can do, and see if that's right for you, so that they can take that home and have that knowledge.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't know anything about it. I just went and visited you. You were so knowledgeable that I just trusted everything that you were saying.
mm,
And I'm so glad that I did because even I've been in the fitness industry, I want to say at least 16 years. And there are muscle groups that I struggled with building, and I would eat. I was psycho. I would weigh my food, the nutrition, like I was crazy with my food, but I was lacking certain hormones and it changed. Like my muscles grow so differently now. And I just wish I could tell that to everybody. Like you could be totally out of balance in your hormones.
well, that's another thing. So like when I have patients come in um, to the office with labs from their primary care or a specialist or whatever, they, most of them, not all of them, most of them don't do like a full comprehensive. So they'll check a TSH, but they won't do a full thyroid panel. Well, that doesn't really tell us. That's like, in my opinion, that is old technology, right? Because
Yeah.
TSH is the thyroid stimulating hormone, but it doesn't tell you what the thyroid hormones are doing, right? So you don't get a full picture. So when they come in, I'm like, hey, can we let's evaluate this? And I honestly, like, guesstimate 5 or 6 out of 10, where we repeat those, there's something going on with their thyroid or their hormones. Period.
Yeah.
Whether it's suboptimal, whether they have Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune, and then there's, you can delve into why are they this or why are they that. There's so we could branch off into like 20 different, I guess, episodes talking about
Of
stuff.
that. Yeah.
But uh, I lost my train of thought. I don't even know.
That's okay. That's okay. I kind of want to shift gears with hormones
Okay.
and like
Oh,
how.
wait, no. I wanted to say one more thing.
Okay.
On the uh, as far as women, with starting off, I would say we don't like to treat women in their 20s unless it's like a certain disorder, that's something rare, or something that's going on. Um, I don't like to typically start anybody if they still plan on having children, um, or under the age of 30. I'm very cautious. Really, under the age of 35 for testosterone. Estrogen, most women, we're not going to start anything on them until they're menopausal. And that's just with testosterone, and then we will supplement with estrogen if they're menopausal, postmenopausal, those kind of things. In some cases, we might give like a topical, which is a little less risky if they're already still making some estrogen, but not enough. But the one thing I can say, if the people are scared, is find someone that you trust, have them educate you. If you don't like the answers or you don't agree with them, find somebody else. So build your knowledge. Knowledge is everything.
But it doesn't hurt to just go get consulted
No,
at all,
consulted,
because that's where you're going to get the information.
Right.
That's where you can ask all the questions and then go and do your own research.
Yeah, a full lab workup, not just like the basics, and then take that information and see what works for you. But make sure that you trust that person, and then you can discuss like what route might be best for you. The levels on labs, on traditional labs, will show a woman's normal levels for testosterone less than 55. When we treat to optimize female levels, it's like 65 to 135. It used to be 150 to 250. We've lowered that down, so it's 65 to 135. So that's a big difference from what's on traditional labs. So if you have a doctor or a provider that's not educating themselves, they're like, oh, everything's fine.
Yeah.
And you're symptomatic. You're like, but why am I so tired? Then you start thinking, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? Do I have an autoimmune disorder? Then you start going to specialists because like nobody's helping
and
you.
then you Google more stuff,
Right,
and then
Google,
it's
and then you think
the worst
really
thing you could do.
Yeah, I mean, you have to find somebody that cares about you. You have to find a doctor or a provider that can take the time to spend with you, and then formulate a plan. And I tell people, if you don't like one person, go to the next.
Yeah.
That's why there. You can go to 5 different providers. You're going to get 5 different responses because there's no black and white, or else everybody could do medicine, right?
Yeah.
So each provider is only as good as what they're exposed to, or they continue to learn or open their mind to, right?
Yep.
Medicine's constantly changing, and if we stay stagnant and we're not doing that, we're never going to get better. We're never going to live longer. We're never going to be happier. All those things. So challenge yourself, challenge your providers, ask those questions. And
Yeah.
if they get mad at you, go to see somebody else.
Yeah, you have to stand up for yourself.
Yes.
And no one knows their body more than them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I want to shift gears a little bit. So we
Okay.
keep talking about libido and how that's obviously a common symptom people come in for hormones. Have you ever witnessed, someone may come in and just say, I have no sex drive and it's affecting my marriage. Have you ever diagnosed them, gave them, get their levels right where they need to go, and then possibly they come back and feel like you just saved their marriage just because they were struggling in that department or feel like something's wrong with them? You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say they come in directly like that. Um, they'll say, "Oh yeah, well, my husband doesn't need anything," they'll say, I'm too tired. I don't want it," or I'm like, "That's because, um,
It's low.
yeah, that's not okay," is what I tell them. That's not okay. Do you love your husband? Yes. Do you find your husband attractive? Yes. Well, you're missing out on a huge part that connects you together. That's what makes you different than a roommate,
And I'm
right?
telling you right now, when you're connected with your husband, even on that physical touch aspect, I used to not even, that was not my love language, physical touch, but now it is. But in hindsight, I didn't realize how much I was struggling with that. I just literally had no idea, like none.
Well, everybody does have a love language, but as human beings, I mean, some of us are more affectionate than others. Like Christy, my friend that
I
you're talking
wasn't
about,
affectionate like that
she's
though. It
not.
shifted
Yeah,
my love language in like it shifted the order of what it is. It used physical touch was like number 5. That's number 1. It's crazy. And me and Kyle are so like it's changed our
I
marriage.
think. Well, I mean, I should say, I know. As you grow as an individual and you have more self esteem and you become more
Mhm.
confident in in yourself and with intimacy, like you get more out of it, right?
Yeah.
So the more as we grow and we learn, when we get more comfortable with ourselves and our anatomy and our bodies and all those kind of things, we know what excites us or what doesn't excite us, or when you get more comfortable that you can explore those things with your partner, husband, whatever. It naturally is going to bring you together.
But that's the thing. I truly wasn't even comfortable with myself. You just said it so perfectly. Like I wasn't comfortable with myself until my libido went up and I just started feeling like it could change a woman. It really could. Like
Yeah,
I can't preach it enough for the women to just go get checked, especially my age group. And I have a lot of people who listen to me or follow me in
right.
this age group. So like I'm screaming to the choir here. It is life changing.
Well,
Truly.
and the thing is God forbid they start hormone therapy and it's like, okay, it's not for me. You're not married to it.
Right.
You can get off of it.
At any point.
If you don't like bioidentical, you can go to injections. If you don't like injections, you can go to the cream. I give out the options
Options.
and then see what works for each person, what works with their budget. You know, what works for their lifestyle. Do they travel a lot? Are they at home? Can they not swallow pills? Do they want not? Are they afraid of injections? So there's so many modalities
Yeah. Customize it however you need.
because every single person also absorbs differently, responds differently. In medicine, in life, no patient responds the same to any single treatment.
Yeah.
Everyone's different. So every person that comes into my office, we sit and it's a whole new thing, because so much depends on how much do they weigh? Are they active? Do they eat right? Do they exercise? Have they ever exercised
So
before?
it's gonna look different for
Yeah,
everyone.
it's so
That's
different.
why you need to go in.
If they are on 20 medications versus one medication, they're
Yeah.
taking supplements or they're not taking supplements. There's are they from the United States or from outside the United? I mean, all these variables play into how they affect each person, right? In
Yeah.
levels. Some patients do better on lower ranges of hormone therapy. Some people do better on optimal ranges. And if your weight changes, that's going to fluctuate as well. So, and that's evaluated more labs. My patients have 24/7 access to me. I tell them on the weekends I'm a little slow, but I'll get back to them. But I always tell them if you have a question, if you have a side effect, if you have something like that, reach out and let me know. That's my job.
Cut you off, but we're going to switch gears a bit. Okay. So there's this thing that everybody's talking about right now, and I'm sure you've had plenty of patients reach out to you and want to know about it. NAD. Um, what is it, and why are people saying it's a cellular reset?
So I wouldn't say it's a cellular reset. NAD is a coenzyme, and it's used in cellular health, cellular repair. Uh, it does so much more than that. It can help with sleep. It can help with cognitive function. People talk about peptides, and so all these things are rolled in together. It's not a peptide, and it is not a peptide. Our body already makes it, but our NAD is what we call it. Our NAD stores, they decline over time. So,
But is it like reversing your cell,
not
or
not reversing your cells, like restoring the cells.
like
Okay.
with the nutrients that the cell needs?
Yes, because your NAD is used in every single cellular process in your body, or like 500 processes in your body. Okay, and so after the age of I guess it's like 40, maybe it's like your 40s or 50s, your NAD stores drop by like 50%. So NAD is something that can help a lot of people. I actually have my first patient starting NAD. You were supposed to be the first one, but then we all got busy. But I actually have a patient, um, because I've been researching it for like 7 months, with different pharmacists, and actually talked to another one. One of my favorite pharmacies. I spoke with her. I spoke with her like 4 different times about not just NAD, but like Samoralin and BBC 157, and
Some
all
more
these ones
than
that patients are reaching out to me. Can you get them anywhere? Absolutely, you can get them online anywhere, but I wouldn't.
it's like because it falls in a supplement vitamin bracket.
It's really hard. For example, Samoralin used to be FDA approved, and then it wasn't, right? BBC 157, they're not supposed to legally compound it right now for injection. But I have oral form at the office, that's when you're getting into like FDA regulations, government control, politics, which
Yeah.
I don't know if your broadcast wants to go into all of that,
Yeah, that's probably a whole rabbit
because
hole.
that's what our world has come to when it comes to health care in general. It is uh, as providers, we are no longer in control of that. We can't make those decisions on our own. You have
Yeah.
to be very careful, or you'll lose your license. Or, I mean, just like through COVID, when doctors spoke up about different things, with opinions, from what they were seeing in practice, a lot of them lost their license. Right? It was a crazy time. So that's a little different than now. But
Right.
a lot of these things have stemmed from that, and so. NAD is fantastic for a lot of people, and most people can take NAD. I wouldn't suggest it for somebody in their 20s. They probably
Yeah,
don't need
that's
it,
what I was
right?
gonna say.
So
Who
maybe
should be taking
40s
it?
and up might be good options to try and see if they need it, or if it works for them. Can you do blood work? Yeah, but it's probably gonna be expensive. So most people are going to benefit from it.
Yeah.
And dosing can range all over the place. So, and this is one of the discussions I had with uh, the pharmacist I was speaking to, about dosing, and it's going to be very individualized per patient. So, like, I have a dosing schedule. I have a patient schedule next week. We're going to go over that. We're going to start off like this, and depending on how you feel, depends on how fast or slow we dose for you, and how you feel and respond to
Yeah.
that. But so yes, there's that. I mean, BBC 157, which is great for uh, uh, tissue, muscle health repair, ligament repair. That's a great supplement, and most everyone can take that daily as an oral supplement. It's gonna be different if you're taking high injections for like actual tissue repair from an injury. Um, that's fantastic, and that one is actually a peptide, so of amino acids. And then you have Samoralin, and that's another one that's a different category than both of the others. But people are starting to do their own research. They're like,
Yeah.
what are these things? And they're not new; they've been around.
Right.
But there are precautions. So most of these are safer than taking medications that we take. That's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
Most of these are safer than taking a baby aspirin from the grocery store, or a Tylenol, or an ibuprofen. But there are contraindications.
That's
For these.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's the reality. If you go out of the country, outside of the United States, they don't have most of the medications that we take.
Right.
They don't even do pain management. You know, it's a mindset of what we've always want instant gratification and quick
Right.
fixes, and nothing is a quick fix, right? So it's having to delve in that, and there's a lot of people that are functional medicine. Well, that's like a widespread term, because you might have a functional medicine person that puts you on 30 vitamins and starts you on metformin prescription and a GLP-1 and all these other medications. That's not functional medicine to me if we're throwing a bunch of stuff at you, like,
Right.
because it's not realistic, and most people can't financially manage that, so. And then other people are focused on gut health. Well, why are we having all these problems? We'll do a nutrition special
We'll
sometime,
have to,
because that's
because
where it stems
it's
from.
because of what you're putting in
It's
your
because
body.
what we're putting in our bodies,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So we're
yeah.
trying to heal those things, right? And so these are all great um, uh, options for different people. I actually have somebody starting some Moreland as well. So I just
Would you say like the NAD is a biohacking miracle, or is it just for the rich girls vitamin?
neither. It's not a miracle. Our body already makes it. So, um, but will we benefit from that? Absolutely, because we're living longer lives.
Right.
We are going to improve on that. Absolutely, and some people even more, because
And I
their
mean,
NAD
who
stores are
doesn't want
worse.
longevity in their life?
Right. And you're just going to optimize that. People that are like you, physically fit, eating right all the time, um, you might notice even more, um, because you're optimal. Somebody else, NAD, they'll benefit them, but they're going to benefit more if they've are exercising and eating right. So
Right.
they're going to optimize even more, because it can only do so much on its own, right?
Right.
So if you're optimizing all those things, you're going to be living your best life, feeling your best, being full of energy. Um, and then you
And
said,
that's where I am right now. Like I just feel good. I feel good in the gym. Like I don't know.
we'll trial the NAD, and then you see how
Yes.
you respond to that.
I should do a 30-day.
I just started it, so we'll
How do
see.
you feel?
Well, I've only had like 2 doses, so
You do it every day?
no, you do it. So you typically start off with once or twice a week,
Okay.
and then you increase your dosing.
Okay.
So
So
we'll
we just
see.
started.
Yep, we just
Okay.
started.
We're gonna on the next episode that you come back, we're gonna
We'll
get a
see
follow
how
up.
we're feeling. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a few more questions, then we're gonna
Okay.
play a game because I have to play some games. If a woman could only choose one wellness investment right now, because there's so many that you can just do to like self care, what would you say she should spend her money on? And I mean, it could be broad. It could be, hormones. It could be skincare. It could be
God, that you can't even say that, because it depends on like what age you are.
right.
Like I can't answer that. I can give you the top like few things.
Okay,
I would
that's cool.
say for women of all ages, right? Is you are what you eat. Um, our country is killing us with our foods. If you can eat farm fresh to table, fine flour and rice and products like that aren't bleached and processed from, get them resourced from outside the country. That's what you need to do. So whole foods. There's nothing wrong with breads and pastas and those things, but they are the United States. You can't
Right,
eat them,
right,
right?
right,
You
right.
can't eat. Stay away from packaged, frozen, anything. We have like hardly anything in our freezer. Well, except for my husband's ice cream. So
While we're talking about that.
while we're talking about diet, right? But he has a fast metabolism. He doesn't even count.
Yeah.
He's like superhuman. So I would say we are what we eat. That's a priority. Period. We can't do anything without good nutrition.
Right.
Anything without good nutrition. And it's a constant battle with me, because I like bad foods too.
And you're already buying food, so it shouldn't be an investment. Granted, healthier food is a little more expensive
But
than
it's
to
not,
just
because if you go out to eat, people can go to a fast food restaurant. They're going to spend $15 to $20 just at a fast food restaurant now.
yeah.
You know how much food you can get at like a farmer's market with that, like fresh fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
So I don't. When people say that, I'm like, that's an excuse. Totally an excuse, because you can eat cheaper. Might have to go to the store more frequently, but it's for longevity. You're gonna respond better. So definitely, we are what we eat. Exercise is number 2 at any age, because if you're not moving your body, using those muscles,
If you don't move it, you lose it.
If you don't move it, you lose it, and you start hurting.
Yes,
People are like, "Oh,
aching.
my knees hurt," or whatever. Well, it's because they're obese. the body can't handle that weight, or you're not moving.
It's the
So
wrong weight
they
to
get
be lifting.
right, they get stiff, so um, uh, so aerobic exercise where you're working the heart for cardiac health doesn't have to be much, 30 minutes a day, moderate intensity. You'll drop your cardiovascular risk by 50% if you do that once a day, and that's free walking,
Yeah.
right? So I tell people just get moving. That, and then lightweight resistance, anything like that. If you're not wanting to be a bodybuilder or have like a rock hard body like yours, then just light weights, for muscle strength
I
and
don't lift heavy. I really
and
don't.
flexibility and those kind of things. So those two. So definitely diet
I used
and
to,
exercise.
but you just made a very valid point. Um, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary. Like, I'm at a point in my life where I just want to be healthy. And if that means walking for 45 minutes that day and then just lifting some small weights or whatever, I just am trying to move. That's the goal. Move.
Well,
I
that's the
used
big
to
thing.
be like, how strong can I get and how and that's great, but that could be hard on you too. So
But with
I'm just focused on like moving and I think
well, some people are like, oh, I do 60 minutes of cardio. You don't have to do 60 minutes of cardio.
no,
Do
I
30.
really don't.
Do
I do
30. Right.
5.
Well, we need to do more than that. So like, but like 30 minutes of moderate intensity where you're walking. You don't have to run,
Yeah.
but don't be like walking a 5 pound
It
dog.
doesn't have to be intense. It
Yeah,
doesn't have to be extreme.
moderate intensity
I
where you
agree.
can't have a conversation. A
Yeah.
brisk walk. That's all you need for that. Now, if you want to contour and
Yeah.
sculpt
Like
it,
you have certain
get
goals.
a personal trainer because
Yeah.
they're going to get it done. The rest of us are just not as well. You are. The rest of us are not as knowledgeable. Um, and
I
just
had a trainer though at one point, and that's how
right.
I learned. It's the same thing as hormones. You go, you consult, you learn, you get the knowledge, and then
There are
you take care of
specialties
yourself.
for
That's
every
right.
reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so definitely diet, exercise, and those two reasons are for optimal healthy weights. Okay.
Okay.
So I say weight loss is the number one thing ever. It doesn't matter what age you are. You need to be at a healthy weight.
Yeah.
Healthy
Agreed.
weight, period. Whether you can get there by diet and exercise, which most people as the age they can't. That's a GLP-1 the whole discussion that we're gonna have. We don't have enough
Another one we
time
need to
because
have.
I am like hardcore advocate, amazing, lots of misinformation out there, and
Agreed.
I am very passionate about helping people with weight loss, using it as a tool, but that doesn't disregard nutrition and exercise that are priorities, right? So that has to
Right.
go in all together. And then I would say, lastly, for all ages, skin health. And I'm bad because
And
I'm
it's
like
gonna look different for everybody too, because that is so
it
broad.
is, and there's I'm like I always tell people like do as I say, not as I do as I say, not as I do, because I live on the lake, so I have to be very. So I'm constantly having to fight because we live on the water. So I'm very protective of my face. But skincare is a big deal. When I was younger, we used a bar of soap. You know,
Mm-hmm. Again, that's another thing I didn't know much about until my older years.
yeah,
That you
but
even
it
need
makes such a difference.
steps.
But like Christy, Sarah was talking earlier. Christy's my best friend, but she does my marketing as
The
well.
best skin.
She has rosacea, and so she has a treatment protocol, right? And then Mackenzie, our esthetician, she's battled acne her whole life, and so
Her skin
I
transformed.
know, and she's just a hottie with her cute little dimple, like she's
Oh
so
my
cute.
God,
But
adorable.
like she has a whole regimen, right?
Yeah.
So and then I just have aging skin, right? So and postmenopausal. So we all have different protocols. We love Zeo skincare. It's my favorite. There's a lot of great medical grade skincares out there, but we carry like 100 products. So I don't feel it's necessary to have 5 lines. There are a couple we may be bringing on. Definitely a clean skincare line that we're trying right now because I have a lot of patients. And I was told, like I learned because I'm old, so I was told that it's called crunchy. So to all my crunchy organic people out there, I have options for them. Like I have vitamin supplements, medical grade vitamins for people that are like, um, uh, you know, no cruelty to animals, gluten free, like, have all the holistic kind of things that they need. So I have options for patients on both sides, and I'm looking for. We've trialed several um, more organic, I guess, skincares for patients. Um, it's not going to prevent aging, but it will um, help your skin from aging as fast. When you have a medical grade skincare like Zeo, it's going to affect at a cellular level um, the skin changes and the damage we've already done to our face, and amazing results with skincare. So a lot of my younger patients are very aware, and I have the older patients, they're like, I've just never done anything, and I usually give them a free kit, and I'm like, this is what it is, and you're gonna just these basic 4 products. There's a budget for all. You can just do the basic 4, and you're gonna notice those changes, and then if they want to like expand on that, then we can do something for aging. We can do something for like rosacea or acne or whatever. We really it's tailored towards their budget and their goals. So
Yeah.
yeah, those are the 3 things. So
Cool.
nutrition, exercise, and skincare will be top 3 because there's not just one.
And that's just the top 3. We can go on.
Oh, I have a whole bunch.
Okay, so now we're going to shift gears. I'm super excited about these games. Can't wait.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, so this is how this is going to go. You're in the hot seat.
Okay.
It's going to be kind of like a speed round.
Okay.
So I'm going to say treatments that you offer, but also that you may hear people try to do at home, some DIYs, or just maybe some other things out there that you may not believe in. You're either going to say hot, like that's hot, like yes, do it, or that's hype, like don't waste your money on that. That's just the hype.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
You ready?
All right.
Okay. Dermaplaning.
Hot. It's my favorite thing.
Gua sha.
Yes. Hot. I should say yes.
Hot?
Yeah. Is there not a medium?
No, there's
Okay,
hot
so
or
let's
hype.
say hot. Yes.
I thought you were going to say hype for that one.
No.
PRP.
Oh, definitely hot.
Microneedling.
Hot.
Red light therapy mask.
Hot, hot, hot.
Really?
Well, it depends.
I'm like, I see mixed things. Like that shit doesn't work, or like, yeah.
Red light. I'm getting a red light bed.
Okay. Okay.
I'm getting a red light bed, but it also depends on the type of lights. So it's all about
The quality.
of them, because you can get stuff off of Amazon
And it's nothing. Yes. Okay. Got it. So it could be a hype.
It could be a hype if you're getting off of Amazon.
Yeah.
If you're
Okay.
buying skincare off of Amazon.
Or the TikTok shop.
It's not what you're not getting the same thing.
Okay. Facial cupping.
Hype.
Ice rollers.
For what?
Like just, ice roll in your face. They keep them in the fridge, like ice. It's like just cold.
Hot.
Okay. Facial steaming at home. Like, the little steamers.
Hot.
Lip filler.
Hot.
Yes.
Everybody needs it. We're all getting old.
Botox in your jaw for slimming.
Hot.
Really?
Yes.
Thread lifts.
My favorite. Hot, hot, hot.
Dry brushing.
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, so it's like this brush, like a hairbrush, almost like a horse brush. And you like brush it on your skin, and so it's like it does something with the fascia. Like if you're inflamed.
Well, kind of like after you work out, you use a roller.
Yes, but it's a brush.
Okay, so
with
hype.
like
I
hair.
have no idea. I mean, unless you're like exfoliating your skin or something, like
I would
scrubbing
say
it.
hype too, because I'm like, there's no way that is doing anything.
I gotta
but
do
wasting
research
your
for that
time.
one.
Yeah,
Hype.
okay.
I'm not in the know.
Mushroom supplements. Everyone's talking about these lion's mane and microdosing and.
Well, so lion's mane can be good.
So you would say hot?
It depends on the person.
Yeah.
Like I need a medium there. Like I don't know. It depends on the person because everyone's not the same.
Bone broth for skin gut health.
Stupid. Hype. I don't even know. That doesn't make sense.
Chlorophyll drops.
Hype.
Yeah, I've drank it before, but I'm like, what is this doing? I don't get it.
You're gonna send me. Like I'm gonna spend my weekend researching.
Like, what is all this stuff?
I'm like, what is this?
Lymphatic drainage massages.
Oh, definitely hot.
Natural deodorant.
It depends if you're crunchy or not. I'm using the real stuff,
Me
so
too.
I don't stink.
That is right.
So that it can be hot if you are crunchy.
Okay. NADs.
Hot.
B12 shots.
It depends on how often you're getting them. B12 is amazing, but it depends on how often people are getting
Because
them.
there is a such thing as too much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're just wasting your money.
Collagen supplements.
Hype.
Tongue scraping.
What's the purpose for your question?
Well, I don't know. I guess tongue scraping is because they say you gotta like scrape all the.
If you have bad, yeah, I mean, like,
If you have terrible hygiene, yes.
but no, like you should scrape your tongue because you hold the most bacteria in your mouth, so you should scrape your tongue.
So hot.
Yeah, I guess so hot. I'm just.
And then the last one, magnesium before bed.
It'll help you sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we're gonna shift our game,
Uh-oh.
and this is the last segment, so
Okay.
we'll be done. So it's called the libido leak.
Okay.
Okay.
Leak. Libido leak. Oh my gosh.
So now that our
sounds
hormones
rough already.
So now that our hormones are all balanced, okay, your libido's lit.
So this is an 18 and plus age group.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We mark the thing that says this podcast is not for
Okay,
kids.
good. Okay.
Okay. And you're looking at your husband like a snack for the first time in years. We're going to talk about it. So it's going to be would you rather, we'll do a few additions, bedroom edition. Would you rather have a quickie every day or a full date night and sex once a week? A quickie every day or date night and sex once a week?
Is the once a week, is it like a full night of sex or is it just like a quickie as well?
Well, I mean, you just have to pick one.
These questions are not good. I guess like the once a week.
I would say that too. I would be like, give me a quickie because
then you get like you're sharing an activity.
No, I lie. I would do the quickie every
you?
day. Every day, yeah.
No, I would do the once a week.
It would have some suspense, yes. But gosh, that's so long to wait.
Well, I guess it depends on your mood. Yeah.
Would you rather be the initiator forever or always be pursued?
Always be pursued.
Really?
Yes, I want him to want me.
This one's a hard one for me.
I need to be needed.
Because I like both. I would probably want him to pursue more, but sometimes I do enjoy being dominant.
Oh, I love being dominant.
So I'm like, let me
to catch him
show
off guard.
you how this is done.
But if I had to choose one or the other,
yeah,
I love feeling wanted. So
now that you actually feel sexy again, libido's lit, right? Would you rather lights on or lights off?
Lights on.
Lights on. Same. Get caught by your kids or your in-laws?
My in-laws. Hands down.
Oh my God, I love my in-laws so much and they're so cute. I can't even answer that one. Like, I don't know which one would be worse.
Well, we don't talk to my mother-in-law anymore, but we do talk to my
so that's an easy answer for you.
It's an easy one because he's like, he knows everything already about us. But my kids, mortification. No.
Oh yeah, I would be so mortified. But I think
they know everything about us, but for them to catch us would be mortifying.
Right. Same.
Yeah, we're just dirty.
Okay, so role play as a sexy stranger or an angry realtor who wants her commission. If you were role playing, hypothetically speaking.
Sexy stranger.
Okay. I think I would be the sexy stranger too. Would you rather do it in a hot tub on vacation or in a car in a church parking lot?
Car in a church parking lot. It's like spicy.
Yes. And then you say a prayer after.
It's never good.
And then you just say a quick little prayer after. It's fine.
Thank you, Jesus. I have sinned. Please forgive me.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for this.
Thank you, Jesus.
Okay, so this is the bonus round. She said she used to say no, but now she's a yes girl because again, the libido's lit. We're in this new era. So basically you'll say yes or no. Sex in the shower. Sorry, I couldn't figure.
Shower sex?
Yes, shower sex. Yes or no?
Oh, if they have a bench, yeah.
Spontaneous midday sex.
That's my favorite.
I know, right? Honestly, I think morning's my favorite because it just gets you in a good mood for the whole day. It sets the intentions. Like, let's go.
Like realistically, I would love that in the morning, but I have to brush my teeth first. I can't stand to have bad breath. So it doesn't work. So then, like, okay, maybe a couple hours, like midday is great because I'm like, all right, have my coffee, do my thing. At night, it's like
your energy drink.
Midday, it's like we could spend 2 hours. It's fantastic.
Sending nudes.
Yes, all the time.
Using toys.
All the time. Necessity.
Yes.
Thousands.
I have a funny story. Whenever you came one day, she was just trying on dress, and she's like, "Look what I got! I stopped at the store on the way." You're
Oh,
so
when I came the
cute.
last time.
Yeah, you're so
Yes.
cute. Um, Scheduling sex.
No.
I'm a no too. I think that's weird.
I
If you have
think,
to schedule time to
well,
be
it,
connected to your
you can
partner,
schedule a date, but you don't schedule sex because
no.
then it builds up this like tension of stress of, oh gosh, I don't really want to do it, but we have to do it because it's,
Right.
it's like too much stress on that. Then you can't relax and enjoy.
Public places,
Yes.
watching spicy videos together.
Yeah. I mean, depend like I'm not like into that, but I have seen that some that I
Yeah,
was into. So
same.
it depends.
Like
Yeah.
I feel like I would, but I don't feel the need to
Right.
when we
Yeah.
have each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Talking dirty.
All the time. Every day.
um, Role play.
Yeah, we do that all the time.
Getting caught.
Bye.
Just getting caught.
We haven't gotten caught.
Yeah. We haven't either, but I'd be okay with it if I'm like on vacation somewhere and I'm caught by somebody I don't know versus like
I guess
being somewhere that I know.
it would be I guess it would be so scary, like depending on where we are and what we were doing.
And then initiating without wine, which is
I don't drink wine.
you don't drink really at all much, huh?
Well, little, but I don't. But yeah, I initiate.
Well, I'll say yes for you because I think it's important to do that without having the need to have a buzz. Like be
Yes.
you and have you and like it's so different rather than like drunk.
Well, then it makes your partner feel wanted as well,
Yeah.
right? Especially because men typically, probably 75% of the time, are the initiators overall. Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, those are guesstimate. That's just like an estimation, but are typically the initiators.
We'll have to pull the stats on that.
Yeah, my husband still is mostly the initiator.
Yeah.
Even as crazy and wild as I can get.
Same.
But when women initiate it, they get really excited.
Yeah.
And so I think part of that just comes with age and feeling comfortable in your sexuality because there are women our age. Well, I'm older than you, but there are women my age that still don't feel comfortable with their sexuality. You can't talk to them about toys. You can't talk to them about anything. They get embarrassed or flushed. And I'm like, oh my gosh, because they're missing out on so much fun that you can have with your partner. Sex, intimacy shouldn't be dirty.
Yeah.
It's natural. It should be fun.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up with one last question. What's one thing you wish more married women knew about feeling sexy again once their hormones are balanced?
That it's okay to tell your partner what makes you feel good.
Yeah.
They can't make you feel good and have pleasure if you don't express it.
That's so good because as a woman, I'm guilty of this. I have been where I expect him to think what I'm thinking or how he should treat me instead of like saying and voicing and communicating those things because he can't fix what he doesn't know.
Their brains don't work that way.
No, they do not.
But they don't work that way.
They don't.
So,
and women have a high expectation of how they want their men to move, but never voice it to them.
Right, and they just you have to train them.
You do.
But it works both ways. They have to communicate with us too, right?
Right.
And so, depending on
which men are horrible at communicating.
My husband's horrible at communicating. Not sexually. He's great at sexually communicating.
Yeah, I think every man's good at that part.
Yes, that's great. Though that's whatever. Not a regular communicating, but a woman should know what makes her feel good.
Yeah.
What pleasures her. Everyone's responds differently to what makes them feel good sexually. So women need to know that in order to tell their partner, or they need to be open to say, let's try this. I want to, whatever. It's okay to say, hey, baby, let's spice something up.
Yeah.
Let's try something new.
And I think that's important in a relationship.
I think the hardest thing is both males and females have a hard time, they still feel embarrassed, or it's hard to share, because that's like your innermost emotional, that people are afraid of rejection, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the hardest thing to open up and share. But once you do, it's like opening Pandora's box. Like it's endless. Your relationship will blossom.
It's true.
You end up loving them even more. My husband and I got married when we were 19. We've been together for 31 years. We've been married for 29, and honestly, I'm like, did I really love you when we got married? Because it's totally different now. You know, like
My husband says that all the time. Like
it's
he
the
looks
craziest thing.
back and we had a kid very young, so he doesn't know, he can't pinpoint that he was like in love with me, but we had a kid, so we made it work. But the way that we love each other now versus then, it's
Well, you can grow
so different. And I
together,
think
or you
that's
can
what's
grow apart,
important.
right? And
In
so,
relationships, things go south sometimes or they're hard and you got to go through some hard things together, but that's how you get better at communicating, connecting, and
every
all the
relationship
things.
goes through trials.
Yes.
Every relationship, every patient that I have that comes into my office has a story. Um, every single patient has a story. Just not everybody. Everybody thinks everyone's lives around them are perfect. They don't have
Yeah,
any
and social
problems.
media is such
And
a lie.
social
It's
media is
such a lie.
awful.
Hmm.
But every single person that comes into my room has a story of something, right? They're going through something. That's like what I tell people all the time is, what I had to teach myself growing up is, you never know what's going on behind closed doors. You don't know what's going on
Which is
behind.
why you should always be kind.
Always be kind, right? Kill people with kindness.
Be
It's much
neutral,
nicer
no
to be, it's much
judging.
easier to be nice than it is to be ugly.
It takes more energy to be
It
ugly.
really does. It takes
Truly. And it
action.
feels good to be
It
nice. So,
does.
like, what do you want out of the way you feel too?
Yeah. I mean,
We could go on a tangent about
we
this
could.
all day
Like
long.
yeah, that's like one thing I do is I always try to compliment people on something every day.
Yep.
Because there's always something positive about something you see, and it makes you feel good, it makes them feel
Hmm.
good, and that reflects on the people in their life who they touch, you know. So I don't even know where we got off on another tangent.
I don't know.
I don't even know what we're talking about. But yeah, I totally don't know what we're talking about.
It's okay. Well, thank you for coming. I really
I loved
appreciate
it.
you
I
doing
loved
this
it.
for me. It means a lot. And tune in next week on Southern Scripted. Bye.